Hey there everybody. By the end of this video today, you are going to be able to hand felt this cute little Moo Deng. She's the sweet little baby hippo, the pygmy hippo from Thailand that everybody has gone viral over. I'm going to teach you today how to make her, and it's super quick and easy and just a few supplies. So it's something you could definitely do. You probably have everything you need already in your wool stash. So let's get started and I'll tell you what you need. Welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy with More Fun with Felt. Like I said, we are going to be making this cute little Moo Deng today. I'm going to show you how to do it, and let's go over your supplies. So the first thing that you're going to need is this little 1-inch already pre-felted ball. I do have a link for this in my Amazon affiliates links in the description of the video, along with some of these other things, which I'll point out for you. And if you do purchase anything from my links, I do get a very small commission. So thank you so much in advance for that. I appreciate that. So if you don't want to purchase one of these, it's basically just core wool felted into a 1-inch ball. That's all it is. So you need to start with that. Then I have these 3 pinches. This is literally all we will be needing of a mushroom color. It's just like a light beige, a small pinch of black, and a small pinch of a flesh tone, or a very, very pale pink. It can be a very pale pink as well. This is the mushroom color that I'm using today. If you're interested, it's by Living Felt. It's their Bergschaft batting. It's called Mushroom. This is 1 ounce, quite a bit in there. And then this is the other color you're going to be needing. It's gray. So basically this is dark gray, but you could go with any gray that you wanted. This is by Serafina Fiber Art if you're wanting this color, and it's a core wool. So you would find it in the core wool section. You're only going to need a small little pull just like this. It is about squished together about 3 inches by 1 inch. That's all you're going to need. You will need your felting mat and some needles. So I always have my clover pen tool handy, and I keep 3 42 triangles in this. These 42 triangle needles are from Living Felt. And then I have my 3 go-to felting needles. Right now I've been really enjoying the Desert Breeze brand. These are purchased on Amazon, so I do have the link for that as well. They're made in Germany. It's a really well-made needle, and they are labeled for you. So the orange is 36 star, the blue is a 38 star, and the green is a 40 spiral. And they just work really well. They feel great in your hands and in the wool. So that's what I'll be using today. And you may need a ruler if you want to measure the pull, but you can just pull off a little pinch. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. Okay, so what we're gonna do is take your pre-made ball, and you're gonna lay it on this far left side of your pull of gray. And go ahead and start wrapping it up pretty tightly, but keep it on this left side right here. You're just going to roll that around until you get to that end fringe. I take my clover pen tool, and I'm just going to tack that down, and then just keep turning it and go all the way around. You can see right here it didn't quite cover, so I'm just going to move some wool around. You can definitely get that later if we need to go back over it. Actually, didn't cover quite a bit, so let me just put a little bit more right there where I didn't quite cover. Now you can see all this area right here, I'm not touching. I'm just doing over the ball on this left side. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it on the end of that same side and just tack all the ends in. So now on this end here, what we're going to do is we're going to pinch it down. We're making this part right here of the face. So it's going to be the mouth area and the nose. So we're going to pinch it down, and then we're going to come to the end and we're going to roll it as if we were rolling a cylinder shape. If it's easier for you on the mat, do it on the mat. As you're rolling it up, start that over. As you're rolling it up, you'll want to push the ends in a little bit just to give it some bulk, at least at one time before you get to the final roll. So when you get to that final roll, you'll already have what looks kind of like a little mouth. So I'm just going to hold that down. Take my 38 and I'm just going to go around the outer edge of that whole cylinder. I'm only letting go of the part that I'm about to felt down until I get it all. On the bottom, you can see it's already a natural chin that it's just created for us. So I'm just going to, tack it. Just keep going around that outer edge a little. Your 38. And that's just makes such a great little mouth. So now take your 40 spiral and you're just going to stab through the center a little bit. I'm using the 40 because I don't want to compress the wool so much. I do want it to tighten up, but I need to keep this shape. So this shape is a really good shape. So I'm just going to keep turning it, sort of stabbing through the center, not going all the way through. I'm just rolling and going to the center of the mouth. So I'm going about to here with my needle. Stop and feel it, and if it feels, now I'm going to be able to squish it, and that's okay. I need it to be just a little bit tough so that we can put the nostrils in and the mouth, but I need it to be squishy so that when we do carve that mouth in there, you're going to be able to see a really good line. So now you're going to take just a little bit more, another little pinch. This is about 1 inch by 1 inch. And again, you're going to roll that up, kind of fold both ends over to where you have like just a little, maybe sort of a rectangle-ish ball. And that is going to go right on top of the mouth that we just made. And again, with your 38, you're just going to tack it in all the way around the edges of this again, right over the mouth. I'm just going around the edges with this stronger needle. And it is still really squishy. So now I'm going to take my 40 again, and I'm just going to go right into it. This time you can go all the way through if you need to, just to help it adhere to the body. And I'm just turning it and popping my needle just kind of all different directions, just to sort of toughen that up a little bit. I feel like it's still just a little soft, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Okay, so I want to show you on this one. So if I squish like this, I can actually squish that down, but it's still kind of firm. That is what this is feeling like right now. So that's where you have to felt that. So just use this ball to sort of show you what it feels like. And when I do that, that's about the same firmness as that ball. Still very, very flexible, but a little bit firm. Okay. Now you're going to take some of your flesh tone or your light pale pink, just a little pinch, and span it out kind of like a spider web. And you're just going to open it up. Really doesn't matter how big you get it, as long as it's spanned out. There's some vegetation in there. So long as it's kind of spanned out, and it needs to just sort of cover this bottom area. As long as it's that big to cover that bottom area. So you can kind of see it's going to be all over the bottom. And then we're not going to go past the mouth line. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our 36, and we're going to use this to create the mouth line. So I'm right here in the center. So there's the center. And I'm going to start in the center with my 38. And I'm just going to take this wool and I'm going to start stabbing it down. I'm going to go across and then down on the sides. And then when I get to the side of the face, I'm going to go back up. So it's across, down, and back up. So get it in there and then go over it again. So this light flesh tone pinkish color is now defining your mouth and the bottom of her belly area. So you can really see that. So just to give you an idea where you are right now. Okay, so we did that, and we are going to also go ahead and put the marks of the nose in. So you're going to go at a little bit of an angle up to the right, up to the left. So this is going to be your angle. And you're just going to put some nostrils in there for her. So when you do that, go ahead and kind of squish it all back. I'm taking my 40 spiral, and now that I've got my mouth set up, I'm just going to make this head, the top of the head, kind of the size to match that felted part now. So sort of just straighten that out a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to take all of this pink and just pop it down. If you look at the pictures of Moo Deng, she has that pink underbelly. So cute. Her mama has it too. And it gives the gray a little bit of a relief, like you can actually see some details because of that. So it's not just one whole gray piece, which is kind of nice. Okay, she's looking really cute. So the next thing that we're going to do is take a little bit more of this gray. You're just going to do a pinch and another little pinch. And let me just kind of give you an idea with the ruler. Like these are just little tiny pinches that I have in my hand. That's how big they are. And some more of the flesh tone. Just another little pinch and lay that on top. This is going to be the ears. So it doesn't matter if you roll with the pink on the inside or the pink on the outside. I've done it both ways. Basically what it's doing is it's going to give us like this two-tone look. And everything that's left over afterwards is going to get felted across this line right here. And that's going to give you a separation from the top of the head to the body. So whatever you like, if you want to see a little more pink, put that on the outside. If you want to see less pink, put that on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and do more pink on this one. I just kind of like the variation. And I'm just rolling it up again into a little cylinder shape. Okay, and I'm just going to very gently roll it in my hands, starting that felting process. I don't want to flatten it out to a long string. I'm just very, very gently in my hands. It's probably looking like this. Not even really putting a lot of pressure. Then I'm going to fold it over. So I have the two dangly ends, and then I have this little, almost like a little baby ear shape. Okay, so lay that flat on your mat. Hold the ends. I just like to take my 40 and just barely tap, 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 tap. If I dig through this and attach it to the mat, that's not helping me at all. I don't want to have to refelt what I just tore apart out of the mat. So I'm very gently, just the very tip of my needle is going in right here. And you can see it's already starting to felt. So now I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to go down, turn it over and do the other side. Okay, and now I'm just going to kind of hold it here, and with my thumb and my forefinger, I'm just going to rub it to continue felting it. It's such a tiny little piece that it doesn't take too much. Okay, so that's nice and firm. Take your strongest needle, the 36 in my case, and go ahead and put a little line right down the center. Try to go at a 45-degree angle so that you're not going through to the mat. This is just giving us that little, the look of a folded ear. And take your Moo Deng and go ahead and lay it on the side where her eye would be right here. Her eye is going to go right there. So lay it on the side, kind of right behind the eye, sort of coming forward. It's going to look like this. Okay. I'm going to set it down. You'll see I have my overhang here with that light pink. And I'm going to knock that in with the 38. Go in the front and behind the ear. And make sure you just go right through the center of the ear as well, into the body. Okay, I'm going to do the other one. Sometimes you can't get a hold of it when you're trying to roll it, so just keep working it until you can start to get that roll. And I'm going to do the same thing and pop that right down. Kind of go over the line again, and we are just sort of showing where the top of the head ends and the body starts. Looking super, super cute. Okay, so next, let's go ahead and do the feet. So for the feet, again, you're going to just pull some pinches, just about the same size that you did the ears, actually. That one might be a little too much. And then we're just going to roll these into a little ball shape. And then you can roll it around in your hands. It looks kind of like that. Turn her over, and you can just put the first one down. Go ahead and do it with a 38. That's strong enough. Go around the outside edge of your little circle. Very careful of your fingernail there. Just kind of feel it, make sure it is in really well, and then you can take your 40 and just go through it a few times. 40 is really good for finishing something like that because it's not going to compress the wool so much. So we still have our shape and it's attached pretty well. And then we're just going to do this 3 more times. Foot number 3, super simple to do. And the last little foot. Let's just see if she stands. She sure does. She's looking so cute. Okay, the back's a little fuzzy, so I am going to actually take my clover pen tool and I'm just going to sort of go over that just to defuzz a little bit before we get the tail on. If yours doesn't feel that way, you don't have to do this. And I am still seeing a little bare spot, which is strange. Never normally happens, but could just be the pull that I had was broken. Sometimes the pulls will break, like as they're carded, and they'll break, and then when you pull it, it'll give you that gap. That's what I have found anyway. So it might have just been that. Looking good. Okay. So now we need to make her little tail. We still have this much left, so that first pull of gray was just enough. Again, we're just going to take one little pinch, and you can take what's left of your flesh tone, and we're going to wrap that up. And again, it doesn't matter which way you decide to wrap it. You're going to see both colors. Roll that between your fingers. Just enough to get that felting process started. You'll start to feel it harden up a little bit. I'm not looking for a long thin piece. I just want to keep it kind of thick, but still softly roll it, just like when we did the ears. Okay, now you're going to fold that over. This is going to be the little tail. I'm going to place that down, hold the fringe, take my 38, Just tap very gently, trying not to go through. You may go through a little bit, but the goal is not to. Okay, then you're going to just take her little backside here, and you're going to lay this with the tail pointing up, and that fringe is going to be where you want to put it in. I just like to hold it down with one finger. Take a 38 or your 36, a stronger needle. You're going to pop that in. Now this is the underside of the tail. Pop that in, and you're going to fold the tail back down. And on the top, where it's joined right here, we're going to hit it a few more times. This is going to help the tail to sort of stay down in a little downward position. She's looking so cute. Okay. So next is the eyes. We're just going to do 2 even smaller pinches than we did earlier. You just want to make sure that they look even. So that one looks like it was a little less, so I just added a little to it. You're going to take this, and instead of rolling this into a ball, I like to fold it so it's kind of flat. So I'm just going around, turning and folding up, turning and folding up. Okay, and then I'm going to have a little circle shape somewhat, and this is going to go right in front of her ear on this chubby part of the face. So right here. So get it where it needs to be. I feel like that might be a little too big. I'm going to fold it again. I think some of it got away from me. You'll know when you place it on her face if it's just way too big for her face. So put it back down. Take your 40, and now you're going to, let me see if I can zoom in on this for you. So now you're going to start going right in the center of it, just to tack it down. But we're not looking for a dot, we're looking for a circle. So now once we have it tacked down, we're going to start moving to this outside edge. I'm going to put my needle on the outside edge, and I'm going to drag where I want the line to be. I'm going to drag and then stab. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to drag it. So I'm leaving the needle, the very, very tip of the needle on the wool, and I'm dragging it. Okay, and now I went all the way around it twice. I'm just going to pick the needle up and kind of go over the surface. And anything that doesn't look like a circle, like looks like it's poking out maybe in one way or another, I'm just going to take the tip of my needle and stab it into a circle shape. Okay. And we're going to do the same exact thing on this side. You want to make sure it's matching. So the center of the eye needs to be where the center of the eye is on the other one. Okay. And then I'm going to drag and make my circle. As I'm dragging, I'm picking up all those little loose fibers so that when we finish our circle, we don't have loose fibers, you know, everywhere on the outside of that circle. We're trying to pull them all into the circle. And then when you're done, you just go through the center again. Let me do it one more time. Dragging. Start back on this side. It's easier for me to drag towards me, not away from me. Keep comparing both eyes just to make sure that they are close to the same size. Okay, and then go around, and anything that you see that might be a little wonky, just pop it in. Okay. Go ahead and squeeze her little face. Just keep that shape the way that we want it. Now we are going to take this light mushroom color, and you're just going to take a little tiny pinch, and then we are going to divide that pinch in half. And now we want to go ahead and create a line, very thin. So opposite of what I was doing with the ears and the tail, now I'm actually putting pressure and I'm pulling out as I roll. So before I was trying to do it very lightly. Now I'm pulling out and I'm creating this really thin little line. I'm going to take part of it and I'm going to hold it down with my thumb and then put it up here across the eye, and the other part I'm going to hold with my forefinger. So this is stretched out, and I'm going to take my 40 and I'm going to just tack it on the outside edge of this black eye. Once I get it tacked, I'm just going to turn and do the same thing. I'm always going to hold with 2 fingers, and the part that's around the outside edge, I'm just going to tack. I don't want to cover my black because she has to have big eyes. That's what makes her super cute. So we're just doing the outside. This is a highlight around the eye, so it makes it look a little bit more realistic. When you hold the wool and you're stabbing, it keeps the wool from bunching up on you. So this is naturally breaking. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just going to pick it up and start over. I'm still kind of going around the eye here, holding both sides down. If it breaks on you, just pick up where you left off. It's not a problem. Don't worry. I always used to just freak out when something like that would happen. And now I know everything's fixable. That's my motto for felting. Everything is fixable with felting. If it breaks, you can fix it. If you mess it up, you can pull it out. It's okay. Nothing should be scary. Okay, so I'm just finishing that up. If you have anything extra, go ahead and just pull it down to where the tear duct would be. Just kind of looks like she'll have a natural eye shape if you do that. If you have to go over the black again, you can. And now we're going to take the other little piece, which don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's stuck to her hiney. Do the same thing. It's such a tiny little piece. It's easy to get lost. And when I'm doing this, I'm not pulling hard. I'm slowly moving my hand as I'm rolling, and I'm slowly moving my hand out in that direction. but I'm not pulling hard. I'm not trying to break it. I'm just, you know, coaxing it into a string, basically. Okay, so we're going to do that. It does not matter where you start, as long as you're holding it down on both sides. And just keep turning and holding, just like the other one. Since I have this part right at the tear duct, I'm going to try to come down with this part here. See if I can naturally end at the tear duct. I just kind of like when you're able to do that. And I want to compare. I don't want to have more on this tear duct than I have on the other. So I'll just take that and go right back up with it. Can even felt it into the face. Okay. This wool has some really pretty white strands in it, but sometimes they just kind of, they're almost like gray hairs where they're all wiry. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my needle and I'm going to kind of go back over the top of the mouth nose area, just to sort of give it a little bit more separation. And I'm going to go back in to the mouth again, just to sort of give it a little bit more definition, separation. All right, we are almost done with little Moo Deng. Now all we need, something I did not tell you, a pinch of white, not pink, white. Just a teeny pinch. I am so sorry. So you do need a little tiny pinch of white. Just tiny. And we are going to be putting little dots just sort of towards the nose. I would say it's in the, on a clock it would be number 5. So you lay it over there, get some wool on the tip of your needle, find your number 5 spot, and hold it down and just start in that one spot. Just start stabbing. Just stay in that one spot and then get a little more. You can twist your needle around the wool and then go back into that spot again. As long as you're not jumping around all over the eye, you'll get a nice little white dot. So now at the end here, what I want to do is I want to sort of put the tip of my needle on the fringe, but I want to sort of go up. I don't want to keep pushing it into the eye because we'll lose the whole piece of white. So I'm going to push up into the black a little, sideways, like a 45-degree angle. If I were to keep pushing down, it'll just get sucked up in the eye. Okay, here's my other little tiny pinch of white. And I'm just going to put that in the very same spot. Only this time, instead of it being the 5, it's the 7. Same spot, opposite side. All right. Her little tail is kind of still popping up. So I'm just gonna tap that down just a little bit. I want it to be a little loose, but I don't want it popping out like a dog tail. She is not a dog. All right, you guys, that is our little Moo Deng. She's so cute. And I hope you really enjoyed making her today. You can find me on Facebook. It's More Fun with Felt, with spaces in between. And you can also find me on Instagram. It's just the @ More Fun with Felt all together. You can go to my Shopify if you want to either buy any of these little Moo Dengs or any of my other felted pieces. It is www.morefunwithfelt.com. And then, of course, please take the moment, if you enjoyed this video and you felt it was beneficial, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can see all of the future things that we have going on here, okay? It's wonderful to talk to you again, and we'll see you next time.